What you mean I gotta defend you as your lawyer and you cheating on me with this woman? Read the trigger warnings. The Tracy Dion slander that they was trying to do on TikTok, baby, that will not happen over here. Look at that body. We love a thick gal. Am I gassing Kennedy in this video? A little bit. I bought the entire series. This lady crazy. Tear all that shit up.
Multifaceted magnet. You heard what I said.
What is up, Niecy gang, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hey, hello, how you doing? If you are returning, what is up, OGs? You know you got love from me, baby. So we're gonna be doing a little chit chat about some reading, okay? Like I mentioned in the previous video, I am a reader. I'm an avid reader and I'm a writer. We are trying to knock down this TBR mainly because my husband told me, like, basically him said that he not gonna keep buying me books if I don't read the ones on my shelf. I took that as a challenge because first of all, I read fast anyway. He should have upped the score a little bit, but whatever, his loss. His money will be spending. But we're gonna be talking about some books that I have read and some books that are on the TBR. So let's go ahead and get started. Prefacing this video with, if you don't like a genre, don't read it. If the book says it's a dark romance, do not read the book if you're not a dark romance reader. If the book has a trigger list, read the trigger list before you read the book. I said this in a video a while back when people was talking about The Ritual. Everybody was like,
oh my God, it was so dark. Oh.
First of all, I didn't like it because I felt like it was repetitive. It had nothing to do with it being dark. But if you look on the front cover, it says dark romance. What did you expect to get? Contemporary love?
That's suspicious.
What are we doing here? Read the damn triggers. Anyway, back to the video. So the first book we have is The Perfect Marriage. Now listen to me and listen to me well. I love a good thriller novel. I love thrillers. I love psychological thrillers. I love something that's gonna keep the pages turning. When I say I can always guess a twist in a book, and I did not guess the twist at the end of this book until the last page. The Perfect Marriage is a beautiful, like, mystery horror thriller blend. It's a woman named Sarah. She's married. Her husband was having an affair. And then he woke up the next morning and his mistress was dead. And her job was to defend him as his lawyer. Baby, when I say Geneva had me shook in this book. Because first of all, what you mean I gotta defend you as your lawyer and you cheating on me with this woman?
Hell no, man.
Baby, she better than me, cause he would have been right next to his mistress, okay? But this book was so good. I think this is one of the books that kind of like stirred me back up as a reader.
What do you mean by that?
I love the suspense. I love the fact that it's a true page turner. Like, you really don't know what you're signing up for when you're reading this book, even as you read the back and you like, what's going on? Now, there is a second book to this that follows the story, continues the story. It's called The Perfect Divorce. I don't have that one yet. That one is on the list for me to get because I need to see where this goes. I lied. He bought me the book. So yes, I'll be updating y'all on The Perfect Divorce because I need to see it. If you are interested in books like that, I would definitely recommend The Perfect Marriage. This is a great book for you to get started on, especially if you want something juicy that's going to keep you turning the pages. And this one is a psychological suspense. So there is no like smut in this book. There's not. I think the only thing that they really describe is when he's sleeping with his mistress. So that's something to be mindful for as well. Now the next book I just recently read. Ooh. Baby, lights out. Okay, read the trigger warnings. I read this book with my homegirl. Both of us was turning the pages. Okay, we had to put a chapter limit on how much we could read. And then we sat and we discussed it. Josh, the man that you are. The man that you are. This was good. That's all I can really say about it. This was a really good book. I love dark romance. It gave me some more things to do to my husband. Point blank period. This is also a part of a series. The best part about it is my husband did surprise me by getting the last book because it recently released. So I do have those two on my TBR to go ahead and read. This is Caught Up, which is the second book in the series, and then this is the most recent release, which is Game On. So my next goal is to actually start reading Caught Up so that I can continue on with this story because I enjoyed this. A lot of people said that the audiobook for this is really good. I'm not an audiobook girl, so I can't confirm or deny that information for you. If you are an audiobook person, listen to it. Let me know. I might pick it up because I've gotten raving reviews about the audiobook. But definitely phenomenal. Cannot wait to start these, because if these men is anything like this one, oh yeah, baby, I'm gonna have a time. And I already like the main character of the second book because he was introduced in the first one. Love his vibes already. But this is the Into Darkness series by Novessa Allen. This is another book that I just recently read. I've been wanting to read this. I love Kennedy Ryan. Everybody was raving about Before I Let Go. Now, listen to me and listen to me well. Not a book talk girl, because sometimes the book talk girlies be hyping up stuff that don't even need to have its name mentioned. And if you wanted them, yeah, that shot was for you. Drink it well. I really love this. This is a contemporary romance. Yes, there is smut in the book. Once again, make sure you're researching these books before you get them. I love the storyline in this. This is mainly, it's kind of like a second chance romance about a couple that ended up getting divorced and they get back together. It is a beautiful story because to me, it's very realistic. It represents kind of like what life is like for two people who end up growing apart because they have to find themselves. They find themselves getting back together on that journey. So I think it was a wonderful representation of realistic love that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about. Along with this book, there are 2 more books in this series, which I do have, which is This Could Be Us and Can't Get Enough. Now, this entire series is actually based on 3 friends. They're all homegirls. They're all best friends. So this is about their individual stories. I do know that the second one is kind of like another couple that separates and she finds someone else, and I believe the third one is like she's like a big boss CEO, and y'all know I love a big boss CEO woman. I love a strong female main character, so I cannot wait to get started on these 2 as well. I did a book page in my book journal on this book and on Lights Out and on The Perfect Marriage. They are all on my story, my bookstagram, which is Niecy's Notes, but I did some pages on that, and I'll be doing more reviews on the books as they come out. This series, this book was really a top 5 for me. This is up there with The Perfect Marriage, where it got me to the points where I'm like, oh yes, I need to read more. The next series that I will be starting, someone actually sent me this entire series. Like, I got this in the mail as a gift. I was so freaking excited, but this is the entire A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I haven't read a lot about it. I saw reviews on it, but I haven't actually had the opportunity to dive into it. As you can see, it's literally still in its box. I kind of don't want to take them out their box. This is the first book, which is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's talking about like a high school murder, and she's going back and reviewing exactly what happened. So again, with thrillers, with horror, that's me. This is me to the T. Love this. I cannot wait to get started on this series. Now, y'all can tell by the cover of this book, baby. Restore Me has been a book that has been on my TBR for the longest, but I'm a physical book girl. And when I heard the reviews of the book, I did not want to read it on my Kindle. I wanted to have it in my hand. First of all, let's get into the beauty that is this cover. Can we just acknowledge how gorgeous this is? Oh my God. But this is a part of the New Haven series. I believe it's Restore Me, and I want to say the next one is Revive Me. Don't quote me though. This is a really, really anticipated read for me. So this is going to be one of the next things that I am going to put on my list to read. Another series that I have started, I still have to finish the first book, Legendborn. First of all, before we fully get into it, the Tracy Dion slander that they was trying to do on TikTok, baby, that will not happen over here. If you was one of them folks trying to run her name through the mud, you can get a mud hole stumped in you. Get off my page. Thank you. Anyway, this is Tracy Dion. This is the Legendborn series. I do have the full series. I started reading this book, got hooked on this book. I will be finishing this book. You want to know why? Because for one, I already bought the other two. I ain't got no choice. But for two, this is such a, you know what I love the most?
This the part that I like the most.
These are some thick gals. Look at that body, okay? We love a thick gal. It's juicy. I love the writing in this. This is in the, if you're in like the fantasy lane, you're really like into fantasy books and different stories, magic, things like that, this is something that you definitely need to pick up. This is a black series. They're black. Okay, Before I Let Go is black. Restore Me is black. The Perfect Marriage, Sarah was not black, but the way she handled that man, she might as well be.
Bruh.
Another book that I did read and enjoy, Hooked. This is a part of the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. I love what she did with this. This book got a little bit of hate on it because they talked about, basically without spoiling it, the fear of the main male character. Let me explain something about the Never After series. The Never After series is based on if the villains of popular stories were the main characters. Hooked, obviously, is based on Peter Pan. The fear that he has, if you know Captain Hook, you will understand this story. Do not look at it from the lens of realism. All of these books are based on stories. That's why it's called Never After, not Ever After. Hooked is a really good book. I love that. In my defense, I read Hooked. I fell in love with Hooked. I went to Barnes & Noble. I bought the entire series.
Oh, girl, what the hell?
The only one I was waiting on was Hexed. And of course, if you follow the author, she was sick for a while, so she wasn't sure that she would get it out. She got it out. Phenomenal. So in this series, you obviously have Scarred. If you can't tell which story this is based off of, me and you gotta talk. Anyway, then you have Wretched, you have Twisted, you have Crossed, and then you have Hexed. I am so ready to crack these bad boys open again because I really enjoyed Hooked. Like I said, it is one of those books where it is an adult romance novel, so you will have some adult aspects in the book. If that is not something you like, do not pick this series up. If it is something you like, I would definitely recommend giving it a try, especially if you're somebody like me who likes like Disney and things like that, and you like to see different story renditions. I would read this series. So another book that I did read was Skin of the Sea. I did like Skin of the Sea. I do know that this continues in Soul of the Deep. I enjoyed this because using a mermaid to save the life of a young boy who was thrown off a ship, there's so much beauty and symbolism within this story that I think it's not talked about enough. Again, it's in the fantasy lane and the fantasy aspects. I love the idea of this story. And then it does mention things like the people who were thrown off the ships. Yeah, beautiful black story. Like, I recommend it. I haven't had the chance to read the second book. I do know there are a few mixed reviews on the second book, but again, I don't really pay attention to other people's reviews. I make my own because I feel like everybody reads differently from their own perspectives. I decide to read from the perspective of what the story is about, not the realistic world, because it's not always real. Your life is not someone else's life. But Skin of the Sea was a really good book. I did also do a post about that one as well. Now, the next book, obviously, you gots to get the Immortal Dark series. I'm a fantasy girl. I think y'all can kind of see that by now. Like, I like fantasy. I like, you know, the vampires, the shifters. I like real stories, but I also like stories where they have to make their own world, because I feel like there's a certain level of creativity when you have to fully design your own, literally, universe. I started Immortal Dark, but because I picked up another book, I didn't finish this one. But from what I've read so far, it is phenomenal. This is an enemies to lovers, baby. She can't stand that man, and I think that's beautiful.
What?
I know that the last book will be coming out in, I think, November, so I am gonna get this series finished before that book comes out, and I will be posting my main review on my page. When I was in Barnes & Noble searching for books, someone recommended this book to me, Kiss of the Basilisk. Good book. This lady crazy. I did not know getting this book. I know it says a split or swallow novel, right? I didn't know there was a second book until I went back to the bookstore and I was buying some more stuff and I saw this. I said, oh, so it was meant for me to come back anyway because I needed to spend more money. So shout out to my homegirl who sent me my Barnes & Noble gift card, because you really bought this book. But Kiss of the Basilisk is another fantasy style story. It's basically about a girl. Her name is Temperance. She's 20 years old. She's never been kissed. Temperance has never been kissed, y'all. So the story is about 13 other people that have to go with her to learn the power of the basilisk, and they have to learn the power of seduction, and their goal is to try to win the prince's hand in marriage. It's a lot of tension between the basilisks, which are the people that turn into snakes, and the humans. Like I said, the story itself is kind of crazy because you're being trained by a snake to learn to seduce a prince that you're trying to marry. I don't know. I didn't write it. Lindsay wrote it. Talk to her. This is one of the books that I picked up on my way out the store. In my defense, I still have money left over on my gift card, and I feel like, why not spend it? This is Token by Beverly Kendall. This is about basically a black girl who worked at a receptionist desk, but she was hired into a company because they needed diversity. So she founded Token, which was a boutique PR agency to help diversity challenged companies and celebrities. Did her ex come back? Child, yeah, I don't know what's going on in this book. All I know is DEI. That's what this is. DEI the book. Another book that I did read was Their Precious Games. This is kind of like an Eat the Rich type of book. If you don't like that, I can't say if you don't like politics in books, then don't read this, because politics is all throughout books. And if you're actually paying attention to stories, you would understand that. Anyway, this is a Eat the Rich type of book. It's a black girl. They go into this challenge to try to win this boy, and she kind of tear all that shit up. So I liked it. Again, my full review on this book is on my page. Now, when I say the most random book I have read, but I loved every minute of it, that time I got drunk and saved a demon. Hear me out. I saw the cover. I said, ooh, that's a black girl with pink hair. I was a black girl with pink hair. I didn't know what I was expecting when I got this book. I'm also upset that I didn't realize that this is a series. The other two books are That Time I Got Drunk and Yeeted a Love Potion at a Werewolf, and That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Human. Those are the books. This book is about a spice trader named Cinnamon who accidentally saves a demon, and then they go out to destroy the person who's been lying to the whole world, and they go on all this journey. People turning into dragons, and again, it's adult stuff in here. Child, I don't know. It's chaos from beginning to end, and it's literally only like, I'm pretty sure this book is only like 15 chapters. But it's funny. I love the fact that it's funny. You're gonna get a lot of good laughs out of here. We love Fallon, even though he's a little bit of an overdramatic king. He's really like one of those demons that's like, you know, touch her, you die. Talk to her, you die. Look at her, you die. Say anything crazy, I'll break your arm, then you die. That is him. Yeah, that's all I can say. Don't mess with Cinnamon or you're gonna die. I will say this. I did get upset because I got this version of the first book of Children of Blood and Bone. It is actually the Barnes & Noble edition of the book. However, the other two books look like this. So my whole series doesn't match. But Children of Blood and Bone, I have been reading. This is a great novel. This is another fantasy style novel. I do have the entire series. If you can see the common thing in this video, I like getting the whole series in the beginning. I don't like waiting to get the series later because I read too fast for that. So this is the whole series. We have Children of Blood and Bone, you have Children of Anguish and Anarchy, and then Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Another book that I did recently read, which again, I love my girl Kennedy Ryan. The most interesting thing about this book is the fact that, like I said, Kennedy Ryan throws in real life scenarios and situations within her book. This main character has lupus, and she goes through the battle of wanting to become a famous actress, dealing with this producer who's dealing with his own issues from a previous relationship and all of that, and she's dealing with her own medical problems while also still trying to pursue her goals. I think that was a beautiful way to write a story. You do not get a lot of main female characters that have like issues like this and that are so widely talked about while working in the creative space. I love the way Kennedy did this. Am I gassing Kennedy in this video? A little bit, but I do love the way that she wrote this book. Very highly recommend that you give Real a try. And then the last book that I am going to talk about in this video, because if we keep going, baby, y'all gonna get through my whole catalog, okay? But this is the last book that I am going to talk about in this video. This is Honey and Spice. I've gotten this book recommended to me so many times. So many times. But basically, there's a radio show host named Kiki. She was talking crap about this dude, and she kisses him. And so they have to do this whole fake relationship. People might not like the fake relationship trope. I love the fake relationship trope because, for one, I think it is absolutely hilarious, and for two, I think it is a very unique way to show how two people can fall in love even when they didn't intend to do so. I cannot wait to read it. again, I'll be giving you all updates as they come in. But that's really all the books that I have for now. If you want a part 2 to this video, definitely let me know. If there are books that you want me to expand on, then definitely follow Niecy Notes, comment down below, and I will make a real personalized just for you so that we can talk about it. I'm probably about to go and read something. But that's it, and that's all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for being here. If you like this video, give it a like. If you got something to say, drop that thing down in the comments below. Hey, and if you want to see more, then subscribe and hit my notification bell so you can catch up on every time that your girl posts. That's it, and that's all. Love y'all real bad. Catch you in the next one.
Yeah.